It was supposed to be a victory lap. Tammy Slaton, one half of the indomitable duo that captured hearts across the nation on TLC's 1000 lb Sisters, had finally crossed a monumental milestone. After years of grappling with her weight, health scares, near-death experiences, and mental health battles, Tammy underwent life-changing weight loss surgery, followed by the grueling process of excess skin removal. It was the kind of transformation arc millions root for, a phoenix moment of pain forged into purpose. But just when the embers of her rebirth was still cooling, a storm rolled in. A video surfaced online, grainy, shaky, and taken on what appeared to be a casual afternoon. Tammy was seen laughing with friends, her face lit with a moment of joy, but between her fingers was a cigarette. A thin curl of smoke rose into the air like a question mark, and with it came a flurry of backlash that spiraled far beyond that single exhale. A nation reacts. The internet erupted. Social media lit up with criticism. Fans and critics alike took to comment sections, forums, and TikTok stitches to express their disappointment. She fought so hard to get her life back, and this is what she does, one Instagram user lamented. Others were more pointed. Smoking after major surgery. That's literally life-threatening. She's throwing it all away. The intensity of the reaction was swift and unrelenting. Hashtags like #disappointed in Tammy and #healthmatters trended briefly, a cruel echo of her hard-won fame. News outlets picked up the story, spinning headlines that stung with judgment. Tammy Slaton backslides post-surgery, from skin removal to smoke inhalation. What is she thinking? But beneath the noise, the narrative wasn't as black and white as it seemed. The human behind the headlines, Tammy Slaton, has never pretended to be perfect. That was always part of her appeal. Where many reality stars hide behind polished veneers and post-production magic, Tammy came to the screen raw, unfiltered, and brutally honest. Her struggles with food addiction, depression, and body image were not story arcs. They were her life. They played out in slow, painful motion for millions to witness. "I know I messed up," she once said in an earlier episode, tears streaking her face. "But I'm trying." Trying, that word, so often said and so easily dismissed, takes on deeper weight when one understands addiction, whether it's to food, substances, or habits born out of trauma. Recovery isn't linear. One doesn't emerge from surgery reborn and free of all the demons that once clung to them. The physical transformation is monumental, yes. But the mental and emotional healing, that's a lifelong battle. Smoke signals of a larger struggle according to doctors and health professionals. Smoking after any major surgery, especially one as invasive as excess skin removal, is incredibly dangerous. It can delay healing, increase infection risk, and complicate breathing. In Tammy's case, with a history of oxygen dependency and other respiratory issues, it's a literal roll of the dice. But what makes someone, especially someone who has come so far, take that risk? Dr. Leslie Martin, a clinical psychologist specializing in eating disorders and addiction, offered insight in an interview for a health podcast. For many individuals like Tammy, smoking can become a coping mechanism, a way to handle anxiety, pressure, or the overwhelming changes in their life. Post-surgery identity crises are real. You look in the mirror and don't recognize yourself. That can be terrifying. In other words, the cigarette wasn't just tobacco and fire, it was a flare, a signal, a cry of, "I'm not okay," even when the world expected her to be. Fame, expectations, and fragile redemption. Tammy isn't just a woman who lost weight. She's a reality TV character, a meme, a headline, a product of public consumption. And the moment someone becomes a symbol of change or hope, their missteps stop being personal. They become betrayals. For some fans, Tammy's moment with the cigarette wasn't about health at all. It was about trust. They had invested in her journey. They had cried with her, celebrated with her. To see her relapse, even in a minor way, felt like a letdown. But what those same fans forget is that the journey to health doesn't come with a guaranteed halo. Tammy is not a saint. She's a survivor. And survivors don't always take the prettiest path forward. Tammy responds a few days after the video surfaced. Tammy took to TikTok, visibly emotional but defiant. Her voice, though soft, carried the familiar gravel of exhaustion and resilience. "Yes, I messed up. I smoked. I know it's bad. I know it's dangerous. But I'm still learning how to be this new me. I still have cravings, I still feel stress, and I still fall sometimes. That doesn't mean I don't care. That doesn't mean I've given up." She paused, letting the silence linger like an open wound. "I just need a little grace, please." The comments on that video were a mix of empathy and exasperation. Some offered support. "We all fall down. What matters is getting back up." Others were less forgiving. "No more chances, Tammy. But one comment, buried halfway down the thread, said what many needed to hear. You're not perfect. We didn't love you because you were. We loved you because you kept trying. Keep going. A future unwritten. Tammy's path forward is uncertain, as it always has been. Every choice she makes from now on, fair or not, will be under the microscope. That's the tax of fame. That's the price of turning one's pain into public property. But perhaps the most important truth in all this chaos is simple. Recovery is not a finish line. It's a daily recommitment, and Tammy, for all her stumbles, remains on that road. So, was it a mistake? Yes. Was it disappointing? Absolutely. But was it unexpected? Not for anyone who truly understands what healing from trauma, addiction, and obesity really looks like. Tammy Slaton is not a cautionary tale. She's not a fallen star or a ruined role model. She's just a woman, trying, stumbling, and getting back up, one breath at a time. Even if, sometimes, that breath is still clouded in smoke. Let me know if you'd like a shorter version for social media, or a more journalistic or humorous tone.